Local agents I'm big on. Local MLS, I'm not seeing the point, quite frankly. I don't see why we don't have a statewide MLS system, and I think that it would be better for consumers if we did. When you look at Zillow, they're kind of pretty much already like a statewide, actually a nationwide system, right? You can go on there, you can see all the listings. Here's the deal. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, they're taking feeds from all the different MLS systems. There are times where you may see something that your own realtor doesn't see because that listing might not be in the MLS system that the realtor is actually a member of. As of June 2024, there are 535 MLS systems around the country. There is not a consistent standard in data, all right? So we just had a merge. Mid-Hudson MLS, which covered primarily Dutchess, merged into the One Key MLS, which had its foundations in Westchester and Putnam, okay? This merge happened in February. I published a newsletter, The Brick, so I noticed a discrepancy in numbers very early on. And I have been going back and forth with the MLS since, because the MLS is reporting that we are down by 23% in inventory. Reality is we're actually up in inventory. We had 413 listings available in May of 23. We had about 630 available in May of 24. They did not have a data set that aligned with the data set with the Dutchess MLS, which meant that when they combined this, they ended up actually using one of our status symbols of contract as an active listing, which completely skewed the numbers. So we are basically operating without accurate historical data now because of that merge. We're looking at all different ways of making the real estate industry better. I do think that this is something that really should be looked at. In my mind, having all of these 535 MLS systems throughout the country, to me, it's all about power, control of data, money, and loss of jobs at the MLS services by consolidating into one statewide MLS. In my mind, that's really what this is about, which to me is not pro-realtor, which would be very helpful to consolidate this, and it's not pro-consumer, which would also be to their advantage if it consolidated. Other services could then become available on a much more heightened level. Training, education, things like that could be of a higher caliber level if it's handled on a statewide basis versus individual MLSs. Better education benefits the consumer. Another consumer benefit could be more technology options, because there would be more opportunity for negotiation on a statewide level to be able to bring in new technologies and new partnerships, especially if you have one consistent platform for these technology partners to then work with. We no longer have access to that historical data that was in the Mid-Hudson MLS. The only reason I had information to prove that this data now is inaccurate is because I published this newsletter, right? And I went into back issues and could show them the data was inaccurate. Ultimately, their response was, going forward, the data will be accurate. Well, here's the deal. In order to know where we are today, we need to compare to where we were before, right? We don't have that in certain data points in the MLS anymore. It's important to be able to accurately gauge the health of our market. So I'm sorry, but I find that stance unacceptable. One system per state, countrywide. I don't see why we need any more than that.